Imagine never being disrespected by anyone again. What I'm about to show you today isn't the kind of advice you find just anywhere, and it might be exactly the opposite of what you've heard before. So, pay close attention until the very last teaching, because it is the one that should be the foundation for all the others. What you are about to discover could be the key to a new way of living, where respect and harmony are natural and inevitable. The first teaching is to practice mindfulness. It's like opening the door to a world of wisdom and self-knowledge that few people truly explore deeply. Imagine, instead of getting lost in thoughts about the past or worrying about the future, you stay completely present in the now. This not only strengthens your self-respect, but also sparks admiration in others who notice your serenity and focus. It's like being in a conversation and really listening to what the other person is saying, instead of just waiting for your turn to speak. Who wouldn't respect someone like that? Mindfulness, when incorporated into daily life, transforms even the most mundane tasks into moments of introspection and growth. Have you ever thought about how your morning routine could be different if, while having your coffee, you truly appreciated the aroma, taste, and temperature without distractions? It's in these small details that the wisdom of the great masters resides. Mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation. It's enough for you to be present in both body and mind during daily activities. And do you know what's even more interesting? When you cultivate this practice, people around you start to notice the difference. They see someone who, amid chaos, remains calm, responds with kindness, and acts with purpose. This kind of presence, filled with self-knowledge and serenity, inevitably attracts the respect of others. And, in this way, you naturally become a source of inspiration and living Buddhist teaching, always prepared for the next step in your journey of personal growth. The second teaching is about cultivating compassion, a true treasure of wisdom that enriches both the giver and the receiver. Imagine being able to recognize the suffering of others and, in some way, alleviate that burden. It's like sharing a bit of your own knowledge to make the world a better place. This Buddhist teaching not only strengthens your human connections, but also makes people around you respect you more, seeing in you someone genuinely concerned with the well-being of others. Think about the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return. That feeling of fulfillment is the essence of true compassion. Compassion can manifest in various ways in daily life. For example, offering a shoulder to a colleague going through tough times at work, or simply listening attentively to a friend who needs to vent. These small gestures reflect deep wisdom and an understanding that goes beyond words. Incorporating compassion into your routine doesn't require grand sacrifices, but rather a change in perspective, where each interaction becomes an opportunity to practice this valuable Buddhist teaching. Moreover, by extending a hand to others, you are also strengthening your own emotional resilience and cultivating an environment of mutual respect. When you become a compassionate person, something magical happens. The relationships around you transform. People begin to open up more, knowing they can count on you in times of need. This trust creates a positive cycle of respect and admiration because they recognize your capacity for empathy and solidarity. Furthermore, the compassion you demonstrate reflects the depth of your inner knowledge and the wisdom acquired through Buddhist teachings. And so, as you continue on this journey of compassion, you prepare yourself to explore even more paths that lead to true harmony and mutual respect. The third teaching is to understand impermanence, which is like learning a lesson that few dare to face, but one that brings immeasurable wisdom. Everything around us is in constant change, nothing stays the same forever. This is a truth that, when truly internalized, allows us to let go of the chains that bind us to fear and anxiety. Imagine the relief of accepting that today's difficulties won't last forever, just as moments of joy won't either. This deep understanding is a Buddhist teaching that opens the way to authentic inner peace and, at the same time, growing admiration from those who observe your serenity in the face of life's uncertainties. Applying the concept of impermanence in daily life can be liberating. For example, when facing a setback, such as losing a job or the end of a relationship, instead of despairing, remember that these situations are temporary. Just as the seasons change, life circumstances will also pass. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation, but rather a practical wisdom that allows you to navigate life's waves with more balance. By letting go of attachment to what is transient, you begin to experience a form of freedom that few know, and this is something deeply respected by those who observe you. Moreover, by embracing impermanence, you develop genuine humility because you recognize that everything, including yourself, is in a continuous process of transformation. This understanding brings with it a lightness, an ability to live in the present with gratitude, without the burdens of the past or worries about the future. When others see your ability to deal with changes with such grace and wisdom, they naturally begin to respect you and look to you as an example of balance and strength. And so, the understanding of impermanence becomes the solid foundation for exploring other aspects of Buddhist wisdom, such as non-attachment. Non-attachment, though often misunderstood, is one of the most powerful Buddhist teachings we can incorporate into our lives. Imagine living without being enslaved by the need for others' approval or the incessant desire to accumulate material goods. Non-attachment teaches us to find contentment within ourselves, to free ourselves from the endless cycle of seeking external validation. This inner wisdom not only strengthens us, but also inspires respect in those who observe us because it reveals a rare and admirable self-sufficiency. Practicing non-attachment doesn't mean abandoning everything you own or cutting ties with the people around you, but rather changing your relationship with these things. For example, when working on a project, instead of becoming attached to the final outcome and others' approval, focus on the effort you put into the process. Satisfaction comes from your commitment, not from recognition. This creates a solid foundation of self-confidence that doesn't depend on external factors, and, curiously, it is precisely this posture that ends up attracting more respect and admiration from others because it conveys an unshakable sense of security. By adopting non-attachment, you discover a new way of living, where the weight of others' expectations and the desire for more begin to dissipate. It's liberating to realize that true wealth doesn't lie in what we accumulate, but in the serenity that comes from not being controlled by these desires. And when people around you witness this lightness, this serene confidence, they inevitably begin to see you as a source of wisdom and tranquility. Thus, non-attachment opens doors to the practice of other fundamental principles, such as right speech, which is the next step on this journey of growth and respect. The power of words is something we often underestimate, but it carries deep wisdom. Right speech, one of the central teachings of Buddhism, guides us to use our words in ways that are always truthful, kind, and helpful. Imagine the impact of your words when, instead of criticizing or judging, you choose words that uplift and inspire. This type of communication not only builds bridges, but also generates deep respect because people start to trust you and value what you have to say. Adopting right speech in daily life can transform your relationships significantly. Think, for example, of how you would respond to a colleague who has made a mistake. Instead of pointing out faults harshly, you can offer constructive criticism, aiming to help rather than condemn. This care with words creates an environment of trust and mutual respect. Additionally, the practice of right speech also involves knowing when silence is more valuable than any word spoken. There are moments when the best way to communicate is simply to listen, giving space for the other to fully express themselves. When you begin to practice right speech, people around you notice a change in how you communicate. They start to see you as someone reliable, whose word carries weight and value. This naturally attracts respect and admiration, because who wouldn't value someone who always speaks with integrity and compassion? And it is this continuous practice of choosing words with wisdom that paves the way for the development of other virtues, such as patience, which we will explore next on our journey of learning and respect. Patience is a virtue that, when cultivated, reveals deep wisdom and impressive inner strength. Imagine yourself in a situation where everything seems out of control, perhaps a work project that's behind schedule or an endless line at the bank. It's in these moments that true patience manifests, not as resignation, but as a calmness that comes from understanding that adversities are temporary. This emotional mastery not only earns you the respect of those around you, but also demonstrates an inner control that few possess. In everyday life, patience can be applied in countless situations, from waiting for the right moment to speak to accepting that things don't always go as planned. For example, when dealing with an impatient child or a nervous colleague, staying calm and responding with tranquility instead of reacting impulsively can completely transform the dynamics of the interaction. In this case, patience acts as a Buddhist teaching in action, demonstrating that true power doesn't lie in forcing things, but in allowing them to follow their natural course, with serenity. As you develop this patience, others begin to notice your ability to face difficult situations without losing your composure. This naturally makes people respect you more because they see in you someone who knows how to deal with life's challenges with grace and balance. And it is precisely this patience that prepares the ground for the practice of gratitude, a crucial next step in our journey of self-knowledge and wisdom, where recognizing life's blessings becomes a constant source of peace and contentment. The practice of gratitude is like a lens that adjusts our view of the world, revealing the hidden wisdom in the small things that often go unnoticed. When you start to appreciate daily blessings, whether big or small, something magical happens, your perspective changes, and you begin to see life with more lightness and contentment. This continuous acknowledgement of what is good and positive not only elevates your own spirit, but also inspires respect in others, who see in you a person who lives fully and consciously. In daily life, gratitude can be cultivated in various ways, such as by keeping a gratitude journal where you record daily what you are thankful for. It could be as simple as having a roof over your head, the support of friends, or even the smile of a stranger. These small notes, made regularly, transform how you face challenges because your focus shifts from what's lacking to what's already present. By expressing this gratitude, whether through words or gestures, you not only reinforce this feeling within yourself, but also spread this positive energy to those around you. When gratitude becomes a constant practice, it begins to shape your attitude towards life. People see in you a serenity and joy that don't depend on external circumstances, but on an inner wisdom that values what truly matters. This naturally attracts respect and admiration because living with gratitude is a clear sign of maturity and emotional balance. And so, as you deepen this state of gratitude, you prepare yourself to embrace humility, the next virtue we will explore, which brings with it a wealth of teachings and a wisdom that few truly comprehend. Humility is a virtue that, when genuinely practiced, reveals deep wisdom and a true connection with the world around us. Being humble isn't about diminishing yourself, but recognizing that we are part of something greater, that our strengths and weaknesses are part of the human journey. Imagine someone who, despite their achievements, remains accessible, ready to learn, and values the contributions of others. This posture, so rare today, naturally attracts respect and admiration from those around you because it shows an inner security that doesn't rely on external validation. In daily life, humility can manifest in simple attitudes, like acknowledging when you are wrong or giving credit to others for their ideas and efforts. For example, in a work environment, when leading a project, acknowledging the contributions of the team instead of taking all the credit for yourself is an act of humility that doesn't go unnoticed. This type of behavior not only strengthens bonds of trust and collaboration, but also establishes you as a respectable and inspiring person. Humility, in this sense, is a true Buddhist teaching in action, reminding us of the importance of staying grounded even as we rise in life. The continuous practice of humility leads to a more balanced and satisfying life, where the ego is no longer the center of attention and the focus shifts to collective growth. People begin to see you as someone who, despite your capabilities, chooses to remain accessible and collaborative, a true example of wisdom and maturity. And this humility, so valuable in any context, prepares the ground for the next step in our journey, living according to ethical values, or the concept of right livelihood, which we will explore next and which has the power to transform not only our lives, but also the impact we have on the world around us. Living according to the concept of right livelihood is like aligning your professional life with your deepest values, allowing your work to be an extension of your wisdom and teachings. Imagine being able to look at your career and feel that, besides sustaining your life, you are positively contributing to society and the environment. This alignment between purpose and action not only brings a sense of personal fulfillment, but also inspires respect from those who see your dedication to an ethical and meaningful life. Applying this principle in daily life involves choosing a professional path that is in harmony with your values. For example, if you value sustainability, you might choose to work for a company that adopts eco-friendly practices, or perhaps start your own business focused on environmental solutions. What's important is that, at the end of the day, you can feel at peace with the choices you've made, knowing that your work reflects what you believe in. This doesn't mean the path will be easy, but the satisfaction of knowing you are contributing to something greater than yourself is immeasurable. By living this way, you naturally attract the respect of those around you. They see in you someone who not only talks about values, but lives them concretely, turning words into actions. This is something rare and highly valued today. And so, as you walk the path of right livelihood, you strengthen your integrity and set a powerful example of how it is possible to live according to your principles, preparing the ground for the next and crucial step, the practice of self-compassion, which we will explore next and which is essential to maintaining balance and health on this journey of life. The practice of self-compassion is like offering yourself the same wisdom and understanding that you so generously give to others. In a society that often pushes us towards self-criticism and the relentless pursuit of perfection, treating yourself with kindness may seem like a luxury, but it is, in fact, a vital necessity. Imagine the positive impact it would have on your life if you stopped being so hard on yourself, accepting your imperfections as a natural part of the human journey. This self-understanding not only improves your well-being, but also makes others see you as a balanced and emotionally mature person, worthy of respect. In everyday life, practicing self-compassion can be as simple as replacing that critical inner voice with words of encouragement. For example, when you make a mistake, instead of condemning yourself, you can remind yourself that making mistakes is part of learning and that you deserve the same patience you would offer to a dear friend. Additionally, taking time to care for yourself, whether through practices like meditation, physical exercise, or simply moments of leisure, is essential to maintaining a state of balance. This approach not only enriches your life, but also shows others that self-care is a fundamental aspect of a wise and well-lived life. When you practice self-compassion, people around you notice the difference. They see that you have an inner peace that isn't easily shaken by adversity, and this naturally attracts respect and admiration. The wisdom contained in this Buddhist teaching is profound because by caring for yourself with compassion, you become more capable of caring for others genuinely. And so, self-compassion becomes the solid foundation that supports all the other virtues you have cultivated throughout this journey, completing the cycle of growth and self-discovery that leads you to a more fulfilling and respected life. If this content inspired you, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to keep receiving teachings that can really make a difference in your daily life. After all, this journey of growth and respect doesn't end here, it's just beginning.